So yeah, I know earlier this week I said the show was going to take a break, and at that point in time on Tuesday, it was actually the date I put a post on where I put my show notes saying that I needed to take a break. I needed to focus more on my other activities, more stuff in life, all the other crazy, boring mumbo jumbo. But thinking about it, this show has become a something that I do enjoy doing every week. And when you tell yourself that you're gonna stop doing that, it's kind of a weird thing. You don't know what you have until it's gone, I guess. So I moved some stuff around, and I realized I do have time for the show. So I want to take at the top of the show to apologize to anyone, any feelings and whatnot that I might have offended, or anybody that I offended for attempting to stop the show, because I realized that the show is something I do enjoy doing, and without it, I don't have. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what I don't have. Yeah, that you hear people say all the time, you don't know what you have until it's gone, and I definitely realized that by trying to put this show on hiatus. So yeah, but so the show will still go on. Hence the title, "The Show Must Go On." I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna shoot for weekly, but if I have to miss a week, then that's all right. The show should be for sure bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, at the least. At the most, once a week, with minor content on the YouTube stream, all that other good jazz. So yeah. Also, it's kind of sounding weird on my mic right now. And you might have heard a weird difference, possibly. I don't know. Could be on my end, but there's a slight echo in the room too. But I am in my new room right now. As you can see, the wall behind me is right there. That's drywall, and it's, well, here. Just, if you saw episode 1, it used to be all plastic wrap, and now it's a full room. So excitement there is I have a room, and I don't know what it's gonna do for. Just gonna set that right there. Stay. Cool. All right. So I don't know what that's gonna do for the audio portion of the show. I'll find out after this is done. But yeah. So new room, no green screen at this moment. As you can see, I'm in a corner now. So I gotta find something to go in that spot back there to make it a green screen. Maybe I'll try just popping up the green screen. Maybe the green screen won't come back. I don't know. We'll see. Gonna do this as I go. So yeah, this week, we'll just kind of jump right into the news and just kind of flow right back into the normal. This week was a new patch, Tuesday, and a couple of hot fixes Wednesday and Thursday. The main things that this patch brought was dragons and challenges and badges. So dragons, let's talk about some dragons for a bit. Dragons are interesting. They are a bit of a grind fest, a very deep grind. Lots and lots of items required to get items, to get more items, to get your dragons, to raise your dragons, all that other stuff. I have to say the concept of dragons is cool. Getting a dragon, getting a baby dragon, and it grows up and becomes a mini dragon, and then a slightly older dragon, and then finally the elder dragon. It sounded cool. It sounded really cool, and it looked really cool when they presented it. But it is a long grind, and I understand that. So let me just quickly go over this part here. To get your dragon, you need to get stuff out of what are called dragon cages. Similar, very very similar as Trove, as you know by now if you're playing. It's a cage. You open it up, you get a bunch of items. Flux, eyes, and these things called dragon souls. Dragon souls, let's all go to No, it's Dragonland. I feel old. Anyway, so you need to get the dragon souls. And you can get those in a number of ways. You can either create them by taking dragon coins and dragon essences, and I think glacial shards, and crafting them together to make your dragon soul. Or you can possibly get a dragon soul from the dragon cage, but that is very, very, very rare. So you have to just to get one of those dragon souls, you have to go through all that and get the dragon cages, and we'll go over how to get the cages in a bit. But so you get your dragon soul and you actually kind of consume it. Your character kind of ingests it and it explodes into a magic light ball. That's a cool animation, by the way. If you haven't seen it already, just kind of eat your dragon soul and it explodes and all over the place, and it's like, yay, you have dragon soul. So you consume your dragon soul, and you have to consume a total of, and there's different tier points. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I know that there are 4 different tier points. The first one, you get a little pet dragon. The second one, you get a ground mount, which is I think it's like a fledgling dragon. And then the third tier is actually a dragon that glides like your wings. You don't fall off of usually when you're riding on your mount, you jump and you turn on your wings. You usually fall off the mount and glide on your wings. With the third tier dragon, you actually glide on the dragon, which is pretty cool. I like that. It's really helpful for farming dungeons, and quite a few people have that. And it looks really convenient, really fun. I'm still farming for mine after a couple of days of farming. And then the 4th tier is the Elder Dragon, I believe, and that glides as well, but it also shoots fireballs and blows up the terrain. It's kind of like a bomb. Now, what I haven't been confirmed about the Elder Dragon and its fireballs is whether or not you get ore from the explosion. Like when you aim it brings a little aiming reticle in front of you, and then you shoot it and it goes. It's very similar to the cannon on your boats, but it's on your dragon. And so I don't know if when it blows up the terrain, if you get the blocks or if they're just gone. I want to say that you do get the blocks in the ore, which makes farming a lot faster for ore, especially on Tuesdays. But I can't confirm that. So, I mean, if anybody can, let me know, and I'll make a statement about it next week. But dragons are pretty sweet. Like I said, quite a bit of a grind fest. And I think really we should have been expecting that grind fest to be coming. But I mean, it's Trove. Trove is a free-to-play game, and there's going to be grinding, and that's a good thing. Tons and tons of content, and that means the game will last a long time. So it's not as much of a bad thing as I originally thought it was, but still, it's still a pretty hefty grind, and it'll take some time, which I guess is good. So I guess I'll change my statement on it. It's a good thing. I love dragons. Dragons are awesome in every way. Elder Scrolls and all. Now, we just getting these dragon cages is really simple. They come from these things called challenges. Challenges are new this week. Basically, every hour, every top of the hour, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, etc. You get a challenge, and it pops up in the top corner of right over there, the top corner of your screen, and it says, "Hey, if you go into Uber 5 or Uber 6, and of course the rewards are greater based on which Uber level you are." And speaking of Uber level 6, there's also a new Uber level, 1 above 5, greater rewards, more magic find automatically given to you, all that other good stuff. But anyway, back to challenges. So you go into your Uber 5 and Uber 5 and Uber 6 and your little challenge things up in the top corner of your screen, and it tells you a couple things. It tells you a zone, or not a zone, it tells you a biome to go to, like Candaria, or the sand biome, or the plains. I can't think of them all. There's so many biomes now. It's crazy from when Trove first started. But it gives you a biome to go to, and then so you go to that biome, and it also tells you a class. Now it picks two of them, two different classes at complete random, and these classes are different for everyone. So I might get Candy Barbarian and Fey Trickster. You might get wow, I'm blanking on the classes now. This is crazy. You might get two different classes from me, and basically you get rewards for doing dungeons in the biome that it tells you to go to with a certain class. So, and you're still probably wondering how this goes in with Dragon Cages. So with the challenges, there are 3 tiers of points. The first tier is 10 points, the second tier is 100, and the third tier is 300, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you go into the biome and you start doing dungeons. You get a certain amount of points for completing a dungeon in that Uber in that biome. And as you accumulate these points, you work your way up through the tiers, and you get a certain amount of Dragon Cages per tier. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, and they're actually getting ready to change those, but and that's all available online too. But basically, you work your way through these tiers, and you get Dragon Cages for doing it, and these challenges also are timed. So you have 20 minutes to complete these tiers to get the most amount of Dragon Cages. So there is a hard cap on how many cages you can get. You can't just go dungeon to dungeon to dungeon to dungeon to get hundreds of them. You can actually hard cap at 13. Now it's for the first tier, I can tell you it caps out at 8, and then if you complete that third tier, you get a grand total of 13. Now, mind you, that is also with the class bonus as well. It probably cuts that in about half, so you might only get 4 or 5 Dragon Cages if you're not the required class, or not the required class, but not the bonus class, I should say. So, and those are, it's really cool, and it adds end game to Trove, and that's what a lot of people wanted. End game for Trove was something that we needed as players, something to achieve, something to look forward to, something to make our goal. Previously, before challenges, Trove was just an endless grind fest of, hey, I'm level 32, and now I'm sitting here because I have no need to do the dungeons. Dragons and challenges give you reason to do dungeons, and that is all cool in my book. And I don't want to rant about it too much because it's actually part of my my weekly discussion is challenges. So I'll save that for there. We'll talk about it in a minute. It's a double-edged sword. But also on top of dragons and challenges, they added badges. Badges are what we've been wanting in Trove for a while. The golden thread was a start, and I think that this is an addition to the golden thread in a 100% positive way. There's nothing wrong with badges. Badges are basically achievements. Now, they're I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Badges are basically achievements with different colored tiers. So there's badges for friends, quests completed, blocks destroyed, consecutive days logged in, patron points, all that other good stuff. You get them for playing the game for an extended amount of time, just for having in total experience with Trove in itself. And after a while, you'll get these. And they're given to you. They don't really give you rewards exactly. they're in the process of adding that. That's actually dragons themselves are rewarded to you from the badge system, and the badge is given to you based on how many dragon souls you've consumed. So the badges are great. They're wonderful and 100% awesome addition. There is nothing wrong with badges. Nothing at all. They're great. Perfect. We've needed them for a while, and we finally have them in game. Super, super exciting. Yeah, so I mean that's it. It's this patch itself is a lot of awesome preparation for the launch of Trove. It's adding the end game. It's adding want to play. It's adding more content for people to do. And along with that content comes people who want to be. I'm trying to segue here, and I just kind of lost where I was going with the segue, but. All in all, they added minimum levels for Ubers. So basically, right now, as it is in Trove, you can be a level 1 fresh out of the box, and you can jump into Uber 6 if you really wanted to. They're adding a limitation of levels to stop people from essentially leeching. Right now, currently with challenges, the one major flaw is, and it's not a huge flaw because people are going to do it no matter what level they are, but they're going into these challenges and they're following everyone around on their low level tunes, and they're just sitting there and they're doing nothing, and they're getting all the rewards for it, which they're actually supposed to be fixing next week. So that's a good thing in that direction. But levels for Ubers is what they're adding. So for Uber level 2 to get into it, you have to be level 12. For Uber 3, you have to be 15. For Uber 4, you have to be 20. Uber 5, you have to be 26. And Uber 6, you have to be level 32. And those are just minimum. You at this moment in time, you can join your friends. And I believe also in the future, you'll still be able to join. You just won't get experience, I think. Don't quote me on that. And that it's a good addition. We'll have to see how it plays out. It's definitely going to stop the leeching in challenges, but I mean, if you want to get power leveled, you get yourself power leveled. It's all up to the player. Yeah. So I mean, it's a good addition, and it's going to be good no matter what. I think. Good positive add. We also got a new level of gear. We got Radiant gear. Yay, Radiant gear. More grinds. Woo! So Radiant gear is special. It goes, whatever the first sets of levels are, up to Shadow. Radiant comes after Shadow level 5. So you get your Shadow level 1 gear, and you forge it up to 5 stars, and then you upgrade it again, and you get Shadow level 2, upgrade it through the 5 stars, and then Shadow level 3, level 4, etc., all the way up to level 5. After level 5, you are going to have to get Pentaforged Souls. They're just like the Quadraforged Souls that you needed to get from tier 4 to tier 5, but you need 3 of them, and that requires a bunch of Quadraforged Souls, which requires a bunch of Triforged Souls, which requires a bunch of Double Forged Souls, which requires a bunch of Flux and Eyes, and it puts me to sleep thinking about it. This is probably the one thing that I don't like fully about Trove, and it took a bit to get over it in my head, is the upgrade system. It's great, and I like it. It adds a ton of content to Trove, but it's so expensive. And you might argue that yes, now with the dragon cages and the huge influx, which by the way I forgot to get into, there's been a huge influx of flux, and that's influx of flux. Yeah, that's the right word. Influx of flux. Everyone has a lot of flux now because of the dragon cages, because they give such a huge reward. It was actually on Tryon's fault, or on Tryon's shoulders, and they admitted it today in their stream, and they said they're going to fix it next Tuesday. And so, I mean, that's all good and dandy, but everyone has their money now and all that other crazy stuff. Error that they're fixing, and it's good that they're trying to fix it. So it should be all forgiven soon. Excuse me. So yeah, Pentaforged Souls, you need 3 of them to get up to a Radiant. But the cool thing about Radiant level gear is you can enchant it with colors and special effect, VFX. That's what I was trying to think of. So you can have VFX on your weapons now as soon as you get up to Radiant gear. And Radiant gear also has the 5 stars on it and all that other good grindy stuff. But the really cool part about it is you can enchant it with VFX. And so, like, I saw a guy running around yesterday. It was a Candy Barbarian, and he had a flaming ice sword, and it was really cool. And I thought, oh, you know what? And this is the positive part of the grind, like I said. And the grind in Trove it's Trove, it's the gameplay, so I can get over that. But it's the cool part about having Radiant gear being so hard to get. And I know this is going to lower eventually when people have more money and more people will end up getting the Radiant gear. But at the moment in time, it adds a cool aura to the person, and you can look at them and you can see, hey, that guy's got Radiant swords. He must have been playing the game for a long time, or he must have a lot of money in game, not real money. You can't actually buy Pentaforged Souls, and I like that. I like that a lot. Kind of gives you something to work for in game, and it's something that you can't get past with a paywall. So yeah, Pentaforged Souls, it's a double-edged sword, and if you have your double-edged sword, you can enchant it if it's Radiant. So yeah, but the store this week randomized the chaos boxes and added purchasable dragon cages. Trove's a free-to-play game, and they actually came out and straight said this, and so it makes it a lot more acceptable. Is they said Trove is a free-to-play game, we have to pay the bills, so we're going to put dragon cages in the store. And that's completely acceptable. I don't mind. I'm over the free-to-play aspect of Trove. I don't mind it so much anymore. Because they're obvious and they're considerate with it. They're not like, hey, pay us $5,000 and we'll make you the best in the game. No, they're good with their store. It's a good free to play game. So, miscellaneous notes this week: clumpier ore, and sending stacks of stuff to your chests will no longer randomly cause it to disappear. Tuesday, when the patch first came out, there was a huge bug with putting stuff in your chest by right-clicking on it, and it would actually cause it to disappear without a trace, gone. I know of some people complaining that they've lost 40,000 of flux, and it's a big deal, but they're fixing it. And if you are stuck with this glitch and you weren't aware of it, and you're just like, oh, my flux disappeared, it's weird, it's gonna come back, open up a ticket to Tryon, and they'll do their best to return the missing items or flux to you. So yeah, that's really about it. This episode was shot last minute too, so I do apologize for the unprofessionalness of tonight. I literally wrote the show notes up tonight and grabbed my mic, and I said, you know what, I need to record tonight. So yeah. Anyway, oh, that's right, I almost forgot. Oh, challenges, that's right. I was going to talk about challenges, so I'm going to go ahead and do this in the weekly discussion this week. Challenges, like I said earlier in the show, they're good and they're bad. The one major flaw about challenges that I personally I don't like so much about them is that they're every hour on the hour. And that creates the effect that I feel I have to log into Trove every hour to do my challenges, because if I don't, I'm going to miss out on something, and then I'm going to be further behind. And it's kind of tough. I mean, I know it's summer break and a lot of younger kids are out of school and they have nothing but time. But I work a full-time job. I work 8 hours a day, and that's 8 dungeons I can be missing. Now, I know that it's crazy to say that, and I know as you get older, you're gonna miss stuff in Trove. It's basically what I'm saying there. Is that's fine, but it just seems like it would be much better off to be random and just be something that you get for being online. Right now, it's very obvious that Trove wants people in game, and it was an issue that people weren't logging in because there was no need to log in. You would just log in and log out because you would get your daily consecutive bonus and you would get your chest. If you have a chaos coin, you'd get your chaos chest every day. And I can personally attest to that being an issue because I did it for about a week. When my room was in construction, I hopped on my mom's laptop, I'd log in and I'd log out, and that was it. So I can understand that Tryon had an issue with people getting in-game and staying in-game, but I don't think this was the way to do it. Giving people a need to log in, it should be when they're logged in, they should want to stay logged in. And as it is right now with challenges, I log in, I do my challenge, and then I tab out or turn to my laptop for an hour. I'm still not actually in Trove. I'm off doing other stuff. It would be really cool to just be online and all of a sudden the challenge pops up and it says, hey, do the challenge, and then be done, and then maybe a couple hours later it does something. I think the fix to this would be increase the rewards, or the amount, not the reward, tongue-tied there. Increase the amount of boxes that you get and make the timing of the challenges more random. It's just personally me. I know that there's a lot of people on the forums who like the challenges how they are now, and I know that there's a lot of people who don't, and it's 50-50, and you're never going to please everyone. So personally for me, I think that needs to be changed, is how the challenges work. But actually today they said that they like how they work, and so it's not going to change exactly. And I know not everyone's going to be happy in the world, including me, and it's something that I just have to get over, that I'm not going to be able to hit every challenge every hour on the hour. But so we'll see how they change it. It's still in beta. They can't use that excuse forever. So eventually that is going to die out. But for now, the game is still in beta, and we're still playing it. I'm still having fun. I still love Trove. I have nothing against Trove. Love all around for this game. It's the only other MMO that has been able to suck me out of World of Warcraft for longer than a month or two. The fact that I've been playing Trove for almost a year, a couple months now, I think. Ever since early alpha, back when there were only 2 classes to play, the Gunslinger and the Knight. Because I remember when the Dracolite was created. Everyone went crazy for the Dracolite. Anyway, yeah, that was back in alpha, early alpha, late alpha, however long ago. That's the past. The past is the past, the future is the future. Let's look forward and move on. They'll fix it, they'll change it, they'll tweak it, and everyone will get over it, including myself, and we'll all be happy eventually. So that's pretty much it, though. That's all that was really added this week. And I know, thinking back, this episode was a big rant. So I do apologize for that, but sometimes it has to happen, sometimes it doesn't, and I'm a little rusty. Kind of, a little. We'll see how it is. I want to have an episode next week. And I definitely want to have one the week after that, because if I'm not mistaken, Trove's launch is the 9th of July, I think. I want to say it's Thursday the 9th, maybe Tuesday the 7th. I don't know. It's in July. It's one of the first couple weeks of July, and it's coming. It's getting here. I'm really excited. They're launching on Steam, and they're coming out of beta, which means that the game will be a full game, and everyone will have access to it. tons and tons of advertisement, tons and tons of new players, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be wonderful and amazing. And they've also been hinting a lot at new things coming. Not new things coming, but rewards for beta players. And so I'm really curious as to what they're going to do, what they have up their sleeve. But it'll be interesting, and we'll see what happens and how it goes. I'm excited. I'm sure you guys are all excited. Let me know how excited you are, I guess. Tweet me, email me, whatnot. Let me know. Express your excitement. It's awesome. Trove, woo! It's coming out. That's gonna be it for the show. I did mention at the top of the show that there is another segment, but I need to do it after the closure because it involves spoilers. And so at the end of the show, I'll announce a big spoiler tag, and then whoever wants to leave without spoilers can leave after that and go on their merry way. And whoever wants to stay can stay for after that as well. I'm back, and I should be back for good. And I want to apologize one more time for the scenario on Tuesday. Craziness in my head, I don't know, insanity, but it's over, and I'm back, and I do truly, even though it's going to be hard to believe because of what happened on Tuesday, I want to be back for the long haul. I really, really do. I enjoy this, and when I said I was done with it, I realized how much I miss it when I'm not doing it. So, that said, all in all, you can find me on Twitter at Alan91330. You can find me in-game and on the forums as Tiny, Tiny. If you want to email the show, let me know comments, questions, concerns. You want to tear my head off because I said something offensive this episode or last episode or whatever, email me, whatsupwithtrove@gmail.com. And the show notes are found at whatsupwithtrove.blogspot.com. So that's really going to be about it. I think that's it. Okay, I think that was enough time. So after that pause, spoilers. So this is the segment. This is part of the reason why I wanted to move this show to Tuesday or to Fridays from Tuesdays. Is we can talk about the Trove stream. So Trove does a stream on Fridays, and it's all about the future of Trove, what's coming next, what's going to happen, all that other good, fun, crazy stuff. So big spoiler tag. If you're listening and you don't want to be spoiled about the future of Trove, feel free to turn off the podcast now. And I'll give you another 3 seconds just for humor's sake. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so, new class. The Tomb Raiser is a pun on the Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, action adventure movie star, all that other good stuff. It's the Necromancer class that we've been wanting. So they didn't talk too much about the Tomb Raiser. A lot of people have some fun names because he does a crazy dance. I don't have a video of it, but he does like a crazy rave dance, and some people are calling him the Necro Dancer. Some people are calling him the Tomb Raver, and he's got a lot of nicknames. But it's the Necromancer class. He uses, she, Lich, I don't know. There's still not a lot of details on it. But what we do know is that the Tomb Raiser uses a staff and magic damage. Also does damage using minions, as far as we can tell from what we saw on the stream. It's a very similar mechanic to the Boomeranger's chickens, and basically just kind of poofs out these little minions. They're little mini skeletons, and they do damage to stuff around it, is what it looked like. Nothing is confirmed official until it's released. It also shoots a magical beam of death. We're not quite certain what it does yet. it's quite possible that it will buff or heal your minions. So we're not quite certain. And also, when it dances with its minions. So that's very, very exciting to see. And they said they'd talk more about the Necro Dance. I want to call it the Necro Dancer so much. I'm gonna call the Necro Dancer, but it's actually the Tomb Raiser is its theoretical name, but Necromancer, whatever you want to call it. It's coming soon, and they're gonna talk more about it next week on their stream. So make sure you catch it. I think it's gonna be mark it down on your calendars because it's gonna be Friday the 26th. And they also will be adding Refer a Friend soon. That's a whole nother rant in itself. I'm still gonna wait for some more confirmed official information, but there's a very special mount coming to the game that will only be from Refer a Friend, and it's a dragon, but nothing is 100% confirmed yet, so I want to give it another week before I get into that whole discussion. So yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching, and I will see you guys hopefully next week or the week after. We'll see how it goes. Until then, I will see you guys later. Oops, wrong button.